Okay, everybody, let's finish up chapter 9 today. Today we're going to talk about how to find the area of composite figures. A composite figure is made up of simple shapes such as triangles, rectangles, trapezoids, and circles. To find the area of a composite figure, we'll find the area of the simple shapes and then use the area addition postulate. So to find the total area, what we're going to do is we're going to take the area of one shape plus the area of another shape plus the area of all the shapes we need up until we have all the shapes accounted for, add those together to get the total area. Okay, instead of adding, you might also be doing some subtracting in this lesson. If we have a shape where we have one big shape with a smaller shape cut out of it, that will indicate that we need to do some subtraction of areas. So let's jump right into some problems. For all problems, find a total area and let's round everything to the nearest tenth if necessary. All right, so the first one's pretty basic. We should see two shapes. And for all these problems here, you want to do it in the least amount of shapes possible. There are some problems you could do in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 shapes, but if you can do it in 2, that's what you want to do. So here I see two shapes. I see a semicircle and a trapezoid. So let's find the area of the semicircle. Area of the semicircle there. Area of a circle is pi r squared, and the radius would be 10. Since the diameter is 20, the radius would be 10. But then since it's a semicircle, we're going to divide it by 2. So that would be 100 over 2. That would be 50 pi. We'll keep it as 50 pi for now, and we'll round at the end. And then to get the area of the trapezoid, remember, the trapezoid's area is height times base plus base over 2. So if we find that area, we get 364. So then our total area is going to be 50 pi plus 364. And that would give us a rounded answer of 521.1 square millimeters. All right, number 2, so this is what I'm talking about here. We could do this in 4 shapes here, but we don't want to do it in 4 shapes when we could do it in much less. Hopefully we can see that there is a parallelogram right here, and there is a triangle right here, and we could do this in 2 shapes. So for the parallelogram, remember a parallelogram's area is just base times height. 8 times 5 because those are perpendicular, and that's 40. And then for the trapezoid, triangle, base times height over 2. So 10 times 5 over 2, which is 25. So our total area then is just 40 plus 25, or 65 square feet. Example 3, so this one, we have to start by dividing this up into multiple shapes. Okay, there's a couple different ways to do it. You could draw a line here, and that would give us a trapezoid, a triangle. We could draw a line here, and that would give us a rectangle and a triangle. Or we could draw a line here, and that would give us a triangle and a trapezoid. I think probably the easiest way to go through this is just to draw a line right here. And that would give you a rectangle right here, and a triangle over here. The rectangle is pretty straightforward. Base times height is 37.5 times 22.5. And that area would be 843.75. We'll leave it like that for now, and we'll round at the end again. Now for the triangle over here, it looks like we might not know either base or height. So first, let's start to get this base. If this whole thing is 75, and this is 37.5, we can do 75 minus 37.5, and this is actually also 37.5. It's not always going to be like that, where it's just cut in half, but in this case it is. And now to get the height, we need to do Pythagorean theorem. So 37.5 squared plus, we'll call this h for height, plus h squared equals 62.5 squared. All right, 37.5 squared is 1406.25. 62.5 squared is 3906.25. Subtracting, we get h squared is 2500. And then the square root of that, our height is 50. So this purple line here is 50. So in the area of a triangle, we're going to do base times height over 2. And our triangle's area is 937.5. So then for our total area, we'll take 843.75 and we'll add it to 937.5. And we get our total area is 1,781.25, or if you want to round to the nearest tenth, it'd be 0.3 square meters. So here's one where we have a shape cut out of another shape. So this is the first time we're going to be doing some subtracting. We see a big triangle and then a small semicircle cut out of it. So let's start by finding the area of the triangle, which is nice. We already have the base and the height because we see the perpendicular box there indicating that 18 and 26 must be our base and height. So the area of a triangle is 234. Now to get the semicircle, we're going to do pi times the radius squared. The radius would be 4.5 because it's half the diameter. And then divide it by 2 because it's a semicircle. So 4.5 squared times pi over 2. This is approximately 31.809. So our total area for this one is going to be 234 minus 31.809. And then our total area is approximately 202.2 square feet. Once again, we see a shape cut out of a shape. Okay. So the diameter of that circle is 20, which means the radius would be 10. So for the area of the circle, just pi r squared. That'd be 100 pi. We'll keep it in exact form for now. And then the trapezoid, the height is 8. The two bases are 12 and 20. So 8 times 12 plus 20 over 2 is 128. So our total area would be 100 pi minus 128. And that would give us an approximate answer of 186.2 square centimeters. Example 6. This is a tougher one to see, but hopefully you look at this and you see two shapes. We see a square right here, and then if you were to add these two pieces together, you would see a full circle. All right? A full circle whose diameter is 3. Well, the area of the square, that's nice and simple. It's just 3 squared, which is 9. And then for the area of the circle, it's pi, and then the radius is 1.5 squared. So that'd be 2.25 pi. So then our total area, we're just going to add these together. So 9 plus 2.25 pi. And it'd be an approximation of 16.1 square inches. Example 7, this is a pretty easy one to see. We're looking at two rectangles and a trapezoid. Okay, so for the top rectangle, it's just base times height, 28.5 times 7.5. This one is 213.75. The bottom rectangle is just 12 times 6, which is 72. So now we just got to figure out this trapezoid. The height is 6. The bases are 18 and 12. That would be an area of 90. So then our total area is just going to be 72 plus 90 plus 213.75. And that would give us 375.75, or if you want to round to the nearest 10, 375.8. Okay, before we go to the next slide is practice. So pause the video here, try the next slide on your own. And when you're done, come back, unpause the video to check your answers. Okay, here's your answers on the 2 practice problems. That's going to do it for Chapter 9. That is the end of our area unit. Thanks for tuning in.